up, fragrance community? Welcome to another fragrance review on the Robes 08 channel. I am your host, Mark, the fragrance guru, and today we are going to be tackling the niche perfume house of Mr. James Heeley and his brand called simply Heeley. And his fragrance on a leather-based fragrance is also entitled Cuir Pleine Fleur. Now, if you don't know much about Mr. James Heeley, Heeley's style has been Elena-like in many facets, and lovers of Jean-Claude Elena's work would fall in love with James's masterpieces, which show a minimalistic style with a little bit of translucency, but with depth and quality. If you're looking for gritty, strong leather in Cuir Pleine Fleur, you'll be sorely disappointed. This fragrance is a floral leather, which is really rare in the game, and this one tops my list as one of the best in my opinion. I really feel like James really did his thing here with Cuir Pleine Fleur. Now, when most men hear floral in a fragrance review, they shut the video off or they move on to the next thing. Please don't hear. This is something that you'll be missing out if you turn off the video without really giving this fragrance a chance. Now, Cuir Pleine Fleur hit the shelves back in 2006, and the nose behind this is the owner of the brand, Mr. James Heeley. Now let's get into the bottle sizes and pricing. Now, Heeley fragrances come in one bottle size. What you see here is what you're going to receive, a 3.4 ounce bottle. The concentration is eau de parfum, and pricings are around $180 to get this bottle. I think I paid, when I purchased this, I paid $150 or so at Lucky Scent to get this. And I remember Heeley's used to be almost around 100 bucks. Correct me if I'm wrong. But the price jump on Heeley's have been outstanding, and as you can see, the more press and the more love and the more bottles sold, the prices keep going higher and higher. And this presentation, just before I go into the presentation, has changed. I have the old school presentation, so the bottle and the box don't look like this anymore. So let's go with the, oh, I'm gonna lose my bottle. Let's take a look at the box first, and as you can see, it's a sleeve type. You see Heeley, you see Fleur de Lis here, Cuir Pleine Fleur, fine leather, eau de parfum, 100 mils. There's some writing at the top here. In the back, you got your note breakdown right here, a little bit of information, and how your box presentation can turn into a vase if you wish. This actually opens up. I don't know if I can, but I could take a look for you guys. Take the sleeve out. So this is a sleeve, as you guys can see. And it goes in this, in the styrofoam here. So the bottle kind of sits in here. Okay, so the bottle itself, I love the simplistic style of these. You can see Cuir Pleine Fleur, fine leather, Fleur de Lis, Heeley. Nothing around it, very simplistic. A sticker at the bottom here that says eau de parfum and all that stuff, Heeley. The cap itself, wood, as you can see. I don't know if you guys can see here, EE, the official logo. So wood, nice cap, beautiful cap. Atomizer, very tiny, as you can see here. Let's take a spray here. Very well done. Don't want to waste too much more. So let's get to the review. Let's go split screen. Let's take a look at the notes of Cuir Pleine Fleur. And oh, there's some beautiful notes in this note breakdown. But the major notes to my nose are birch, suede, violet leaf, and castoreum. I grouped this fragrance as a leather floral fragrance. How many sprays and wear? On me, I go 1 on the chest, 2 on the neck, and 2 on the arms, and I am set. So let's sniff it out. Now, my favorite part of the fragrance review is spraying a couple of these, reminding me of this beautiful introduction of this fragrance. And I'll describe it from top to bottom. So first of all, this introduction is magnificent. It's so beautiful. The opening of Cuir Pleine Fleur does not disappoint any suede or leather lovers out there. The floral aspect jumps out to you right away. Violet leaf, absolutely amazing. A beautiful note in this fragrance. Now, that floral does jump out to you right away, but is very much camouflaged just enough with the blend of leather and the strong enough birch tar to give some of this fragrance some ball. So a little bit of smoke to it. The violet leaf is your main culprit in this introduction. It's watery, it's beautiful, it's everything I come to expect from Violet Leaf. It is absolutely bonkers. Now the blend in this fragrance is truly outstanding, just because if you don't know what Violet Leaf smells like, you wouldn't know. You would just think that this is a part of the leather. There's some subtle spices here, mainly cinnamon, with a bit of woods, and throw a little bit of hay-like appeal and dirt on this fragrance. The leathery aspect, if I could describe it, I would say it reminds me of like a saddle, worn in a saddle for a horse. Just maybe that hay aspect of this fragrance brings me to, you know, a farm or a horse. It just reminds me of a saddle, a worn in saddle for a horse. Now, Cuir Pleine Fleur is a very dry fragrance overall. It has a hint of a wet aspect with, of course, the violets. Off the bat, I enjoyed the mysterious edge of Cuir Pleine Fleur. I loved how the florals and leather can mesh together. It was actually a perfect marriage. The violet leaf and leather, birch, castoreum. I really felt like the blend is outstanding. And the marriage of violets and leather as their main aspect of a fragrance, really well done. This going in that direction, this is reminds me of a much more artistic or modern take on Dial's Fahrenheit, in my opinion. If you're a real fan of Fahrenheit, and maybe you've been wearing Fahrenheit for 20 years, we'll say, and you want something new, but maybe you want something a little more, you know, you're more of a niche head now, things like that. I highly recommend you guys to smell this. It will maybe blow your socks off. The animalic touch to this fragrance, I have to talk about the castoreum, because when people see castoreum, they're like, this is a no-go note for me. Now, the animalic touch to this fragrance on some wearings came out a little more than other wearings, so you gotta be careful. You gotta really sample this fragrance to see what it does on your skin. For me, I love it. Personally, I felt it was blended enough that it won't overwhelm the user with too much stank to the fragrance, but I think it just gave it enough that it brought me back to, again, the farm. I really like the blend in this fragrance. Everything was well meshed together. The fragrance, as the name says, is centered on this rich suede-like note. I wouldn't really call it a rough and tumble leather. It's more of a suede with birch tar kind of giving you that smoke that makes you think leather. This is one, if not my favorite, subtle, transparent, softer leathers in my collection. It's probably the best in the game for that. After about 20 minutes or so on my skin, there's a green aspect that kind of shows to the scent, almost kind of mossy or vegetal-like, and this pairs very well with the leather and the whole overall theme of this fragrance. Really well done. The introduction is to die for on this. Now in the dry down of Cuir Pleine Fleur, not much changes, guys. Once this fragrance hits the 20 to 25 minute mark, what you're going to get there is what you're going to get in the life of the fragrance. It's not going to move much on your skin. The florals in here, the rose kind of comes up a little bit, it joins the violet, and the leather and the florals are going to be your backbone of this fragrance, to be honest. Those are going to be your main primary notes in this fragrance. Your secondary notes are birch tar, give you a little bit of smoke, not too much, just enough. It's like somebody lit a match, blew it out, and you get a little bit of smoke right there. And obviously the animalic castoreum, a little bit of that too, some honeyed sweetness in here, and then the rose. The rose shows up in the dry down. That was one thing that I missed in a lot of wearings with this fragrance. I was like, where is that? I was trying to dissect this fragrance a little more, and I found it. The rose in this fragrance shows up a little bit more in the dry down, obviously, and it smelled more like, because of the dryness and the hay and all this in this fragrance, it smelled more like dried roses. I remember when I was with my wife now, I used to buy her roses and things like that when I used to go overseas and stuff, early when she was my girlfriend. Not anymore, she's my wife, so don't get roses. I'm just kidding. But she used to actually dry the roses. You know, a lot of girls do that, they dry the roses. That's what it smelled like. It had like a dried aspect to it. It really wasn't a full blooming rose. And So it just brings that appeal, and then it has that greenness to this fragrance. It's got some, obviously some cedar in here, castoreum, the vetiver, a lot of green, really beautiful, but your main culprits, the violet leaf, still there, pushing through, and of course your leather, suede-like leather with the birch, a little bit of castoreum, really beautiful. Overall, one of the best takes on a leather floral scent, yes. James truly outdid himself here. What a great balance of using some very dairy notes and holding them back. You look at leather, castoreum, birch tar. These are notes that could full-blown kick your butt. And James Heeley did, with his minimalistic, transparent style, did it. This is one of the boldest held-back fragrances I ever smelled in my life, and a great use of florals with those bold notes. I really enjoyed the whole blend. The blend, 10 out of 10 blend, if I was rating the blend. So let's go to my final take. My final take, let's take a look at it. Recommended age, 20 and up. Bottles, man, if you want leather, Cuir de Russie by Chanel, Tuscan leather, Tom Ford. Cuir Ottoman is close to this. If you want something bigger, bolder, you want a leather-based fragrance that's going to be in your face, go try Cuir by Mona Diorio. You will not be disappointed. If you like animalic and leather together, Cuir by Mona Diorio, go for it. I need to review that one, by the way. Awards. Has Cuir Pleine Fleur been in any of my top 20 or top 10 lists? Of course it has. I love this one. It made number 17 in my fall niche in 2011. And oh boy, it went pretty high in 2013 on my winter niche list at number 3. So this is a goodie. If you can make top 5 in my niche for fall and winter, you're good. You're solid. Best time to wear this fragrance? Night out. Seasons? Fall, winter, spring nights. That's something I like to keep in my back pocket here. This fragrance, some people think it's just a cold weather frag. Hell no. Spring nights. If it's raining, violets works well when it rains, and with leather and all the daring notes in here, ooh, beautiful. Spring nights and summer nights too. Now the compliment factor, I'll be straight up and honest, guys. I absolutely love this fragrance, but the compliment factor is just not there. It is average to low. I never really had one of these days that people just were complimenting me like crazy when wearing this fragrance. Some fragrances do that. This one did not have that one odd day that people were going nuts about it. I never sold a bottle of this fragrance, but I absolutely love it. Now, Heeley has a huge catalog of scents that I respect and love, but honestly, this one may just be the best of the brand. It's rich, it's deep, it's masculine. Forget florals are just for the ladies, and ladies, don't think leather-based fragrances are just for the men. This is great for all of us. This thing is absolutely bonkers, so forget about all that. Cuir Pleine Fleur is very subtle scent, but also daring at the same time. That's what I love about this fragrance. It's really a well-balanced oil machine here. Many may ache for more punch in their leather-based fragrances, but take a look at the brand you're looking at. James Heeley never was one of those that you're going to get something big, bold, and punching. James Heeley's signature is almost transparent and minimalistic in his fragrances, but they also have quite a bit of depth to them when you peel the layers. This fragrance, when I'm thinking of the kind of guy or the kind of person that would be wearing this is the clean-cut suit type scent that you would want to make an impression, but be a little daring with your scent, with enough holding it back to make it worthy for a high-end event. So this kind of reminds me of like a guy like me that likes their big bold scents, right? The big bold leathers like Mona Diorio's Oud or Mona Diorio's Cuir, sorry. That one's big and bold, and that's the kind of fragrances I love. But if I'm going to high-end, classy event, I'm not going to wear something super daring and has tons of projection. This is for us. This has enough daring, but it's holding it back, and it's clean enough. It has enough stank to keep me interested, but at the same time, it's clean enough to be, suitable enough for these kind of occasions. And I love how Mr. James Heeley did that on this fragrance. This fragrance is a work of art. And Mr. Heeley is really making a bold statement right now with this particular fragrance and many others in his repertoire to be one of my top noses of all time. I really think that he's almost Junior Elena going to be the new Jean-Claude Delena. I really think he's going to steal his spot as #1 in due time. Now, why would you love this fragrance and why would you hate it? So let's take a look at the love side. It's a versatile, softer leather. The depth and artistic style of the nose behind it is going to make you love it. Why would you hate it? If you love or you're looking for a big bold leather-based fragrance, you're not going to get that from here. Animalic punch to this fragrance. The castoreum may be a reason why you won't like that. It has like a small fecal-like feel to it. And the floral aspect. Some people are just not going to like the floral aspect in this fragrance. Now let's get into my rating system. Let's go split screen. Let's take a look at Cuir Pleine Fleur projection. 5 bottles out of 10. Very much a skin scent, guys. This one is not going to project that much on my skin. It never did, never will. It's very much a softer skin scent. Longevity, this is where it gets a better score. 7 bottles out of 10. It hits my V 7 to 9 hours on my skin. Very, very well done in the longevity. Versatility, this is one of the better leather-based fragrances for being versatile. I can wear this in the office and not worry. 8 bottles out of 10. Smell, 10 out of 10. This thing is absolutely bonkers as far as notes, the blend, everything I'm looking at. Check mark everywhere, 10 out of 10. And that goes to an overall score. Cuir Pleine Fleur gets a 9 bottles out of 10 from me. And that goes to buy, try, or pass. I gotta give this one the buy treatment. This is one of those that if you're looking for a softer leather in your repertoire, and like I mentioned earlier, if you're a Fahrenheit fan, violet leaf, leather, cedar, there's a lot of notes here that come together. This is a more modern artistic style of Fahrenheit, kind of held back at the same time, but still bold at the same time. Go check it out. So thanks for watching, guys, and as always, comment below. I want to hear everybody's take on this fragrance. Thanks for watching, guys. Have a good one.